Throughout ancient mythologies and medieval writings, strange and wondrous creatures have been described. One of the most fascinating and enduring of these is the Cynocephali, a race of dog-headed humans that have appeared in tales all over the world. Let us now examine the mythology, the starting point, and the enigmas surrounding these extraordinary dog-like beings. The term Cynocephali originates from the Greek words kinos, meaning dog, and kephalos, meaning head. One of the earliest mentions can be found in the writings of ancient Greek physician Ctesias in the 5th century BC, who described dog-headed men living in distant lands. Similarly, Herodotus mentioned them in his accounts of North Africa, and tales of their existence traveled through ancient and medieval Europe. Cynocephali were described as fierce warriors and hunters, wild and capable of communication through barking and growling. Despite their bestial appearance, they were often depicted with a sense of intelligence and civilization. In Greek and Roman literature, they were portrayed as both wild men and noble savages. Some were even said to practice agriculture, and in Christian texts, they appear as potential converts to Christianity. The Ramayana and Mahabharata, among other ancient Indian texts, refer to the Cynocephali as Shvapakas, or untouchables. They are important to the cosmic order, but are also often associated with immorality. The Greek historian and diplomat Megasthenes mentioned seeing Cynocephali in India during his journeys, which added to the myth's significance in Indian history. Chinese literature, particularly ancient accounts and traveler tales, views dog-headed people as people living on the edge of the unknown world. Chinese tradition states that these creatures represented the unknown and uncivilized, and were located in remote, uncharted areas outside the boundaries of civilization. Medieval Arabic texts also reference Cynocephali. In particular, the geographer Al-Masudi and others describe the existence of dog-headed men in far-off lands, often in the context of strange and distant peoples encountered during trade or travel. The Kitab al-Hayawan, Book of Animals, written by Al-Jahiz, also mentions dog-headed creatures, highlighting how widespread the myth was even in the Arab world. There are stories of canine-headed warriors or creatures that resemble Cynocephali in folklore from medieval Scandinavia and Eastern Europe. Depending on the local stories, these individuals frequently appear as either noble beings or horrific creatures. Though the Vikings did not mention Cynocephali specifically, tales of the fighters known as berserkers, warriors who would charge into combat in a trance-like rage, frequently compared to animals, might have some connection to these myths. There are canine-looking monsters in Turkic and Mongolian mythology, albeit they could not be true Cynocephali. These creatures might represent the chaotic forces of nature, power, or loyalty. Anubis, in comparison, is a majestic and divine deity with a carefully controlled duality, representing protection and guidance in the afterlife. His image is one of power and serenity, with a deep connection to death, resurrection, and order compared to the Cynocephali, who, on the other hand, are more feral and chaotic, embodying the wild and uncivilized side of humanity. While they are sometimes depicted as brave or loyal, they are mostly seen as primal beings, existing on the borders of civilization. Anubis in Egyptian religion is one of the key deities associated with the afterlife. His function is not just as a protector, but also as a guide and judge, making him a figure of immense respect and fear. His connection to death and the afterlife gave him a respected position in Egyptian society, and his image was often placed on tombs to ensure safe passage for the dead. His divine status elevates him above the mundane world, and he was never portrayed as a threat to humans, but rather as a benefactor in their transition to the next life. Today, the Cynocephali are often linked to cryptid folklore, much like the werewolf or Bigfoot. Some claim that the Cynocephali represent a distant memory of a now extinct hominid species, while others view them as purely symbolic, representing the beast within mankind. Though the Cynocephali were once seen as fearsome or otherworldly, over time, our perception of dogs has evolved dramatically. Today, our deep affection for dogs, their loyalty, bravery, and companionship continues to reflect those ancient tales. Whether guarding our homes or guiding those in need, dogs have become symbols of love and protection. From myth to reality, these creatures have traveled the same path, from the mysterious Cynocephali to the beloved and loyal companions we love and cherish today. Therefore, it is possible that the tales of the Cynocephali are not only about far-off fantastical places, but also serve as a reminder of the everlasting relationship we had and continue to have with our dogs, who have always stood and supported us by our sides in both myth and reality. I hope you enjoyed this journey into the fascinating world of the Cynocephali and our timeless bond with dogs. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations into mythology, history, and culture. And as always, feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love hearing from you and always try to respond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.